Hi there and welcome back to another bonsai short with me, Terry Erasmus. And today I'm going to be working on this collected wild olive. I actually collected it a couple of years ago, and why I collected it is because I really enjoy the trunk movement. I thought it was, when I saw it in the field, I thought it was the ideal specimen for a bunjin or literati type of styled tree. I don't have an olive in that style, and I'm quite keen or excited about creating something with it like that. So today I'm just going to be cleaning off the sucker growth, which of course is not going to be needed for the design, but it is a good idea, especially when your tree is newly collected and you're going for massive root development, or your focus is on getting, because of course this tree was chainsawed after it was collected. If you're not sure about that technique, then please do look at the blogs and other videos that where I feature that or describe that technique. But yeah, I'm going to be taking this sucker growth off, and then I've got two options for the apex of the tree, and in fact at the moment I'm still planning on probably keeping both, but you're welcome to leave your comments below. Tell me which one you think I should be going with. One of the characteristics or features that I really liked when I saw this tree in the field was the pronounced live vein, which is not really that common, at least from what I've seen on wild olives. The movement, so it's not the live vein is not straight up the trunk. It's sort of revolving around, and there's a lot of movement in it, and so there's dead wood already in the tree, and probably will enhance that through the use of carving. So I would remove the live tissue and then get that to join with the dead wood that is already here on the tree. So of course, as you know, bunjin style is all about the trunk line. So you must have a nice flowing, elegant, lengthy trunk with taper and with movement for it to be a pleasing bunjin. So what we've got here is an interesting trunk line, but now I'm not sure yet whether to go with this as the extension of the trunk line and the ultimate apex in this area, or whether to continue into this area and bring this in and fill the space over here. So with the apex of the tree would sit in this area and the volume of the foliage. Alternatively, to use this and use this as the apex. So that's the decision that needs to be made. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that decision today, but I'm going to work on both areas as if I was going to keep both. The decision I don't think that the decision has to be made today. So when you have those kind of crossroads, so to speak, if you can keep both options, then do so, because then you can always make that decision later when the better option, or the one that you that appeals to you, that grows in appeal to you, becomes obvious, and then you can eliminate the other option. Just a comment about this mass of foliage here. The intention that I had with growing it was never to keep it for the long term. I decided to keep it though because obviously this was a fairly large tree growing in the veld where it was collected from. So when you cut off such a massive amount of foliage, you need to be careful that you also don't get too much dieback. The plan that I had with this was used to pull sap up into the tree, and so that I would keep the full length of the trunk alive, but knowing at the same time that I was either going to use this or I was going to use this to actually develop the future tree from. But pretty soon, when when either of these areas have grown sufficiently in strength, then I will eliminate this entirely from the tree, and then this will be converted into a gin. So also I'm aware of the fact that there is a fairly lengthy straight section in the tree, in the trunk line. That can be visually resolved by playing with enhancing the deadwood, so therefore shaving away from the girth of the tree, and then giving it a taper, artificially essentially giving it a taper. This section will either be ginned, kept fairly long and then ginned, or otherwise it might be shortened to some extent. But ultimately, if keeping this section only, or this is the apex, then this will all be ginned. So I finished wiring the first potential apex, and now I'm going to be bringing this one down into position, the second option for the apex. Okay, so I'm finished styling the tree for today. It's not an incredibly attractive tree at the moment, or yet. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but this is bonsai. This is creating trees, and this is what I really love about the art, is making trees. And so taking this raw material and having a vision of what it could look like in the future, and then working towards that goal. So as I said, this is the first option for an apex. This branch is being allowed to just develop up into the sunlight. It's been wired to the sun. This must be grown a lot longer to thicken up the base of the branch considerably. Then there's just a very basic structural branch pattern that's been set into place. And then we have the second option for the apex, which probably out of the two is certainly at the moment going to look the lesser of the two in appearance wise, but I think that this option has a lot of potential. So the idea is to develop this further into this area, and of course the base of this branch, which will be the continuation of the trunk line, is too thin still. So all of this has been left on to help thicken up that area. But ultimately the canopy or the body of the foliage will sit in this negative space below the trunk line. So thanks very much for watching, and hope that this was offered some insights to you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.